Good morning, everybody. Good morning, morning, artsman. You got your book. You got your book. How do you like it? How do you like it? I am still looking at mine. The book hath cometh. The book hath arrived. It's it's a heck of a book, isn't it? Um, I've been looking at some of the artwork. Want to review the dragon sketching stuff, yeah. I mean, some of it is just. I don't know, that book really made me rethink as to how to create artwork from my own imagination. And it was just. Clearly they were researching for one particular creature. So, like, one person did a dragon, another one did a werewolf, and, so on and so forth. And instead of just going with the considered image of what a werewolf looks like or what a dragon looks like, they go into detail of little research of poses or features that particular creature might have and how it relates to creatures in the real world that they could copy from and different species. And it was just so good. And I was just like, that's what I need. I need to think that I can put more thought into just sitting down with a piece of paper and a pencil. You can still do that, of course, but that I can consider other things before I do the drawings. And I just love that book. It's such a perfect coffee table book, and it's beautiful book to look at. And the feel of the cover with that gold inset and everything. Oh, I just love that book so much. He showed it to your mum and she didn't want anything to do with it. Right, okay. It's a big book. Yes, it is. It is. It's hefty. It's a hefty book. But it's so good. It's so good. For an artist, it's such a good book for an artist to have. It really is. Make a good weapon, that book. If you needed it to be. Could cause some damage, but. Oh! Seriously? Ah, Artsman. This is not going to go well. Look, I've reached the end of my rough pad on my last page. Werewolf. Oh, Jesus. Sorry. I just don't know how to do. You can do a wolf man if you want. What's the difference? What's the difference between a werewolf and a wolf man? Right, okay. God, this is. I'm sorry, I can't think off the top of my head. Oh my god, because I feel like I have to do something quickly. Um, what's a werewolf look like? Let's do some teeth. I mean, way to start the, the morning session off with like something really hard. Let's just have black eyes. This looks more like an Alsatian at the moment, but let's just go with it. Let's just go with it. Let's pretend. Can't do feet. Can't do feet. He's got really sort of chunky legs, but you know. This is really weird. Let's have some like hairy legs. Kind of like a flat-footed sort of, you know, let's just imagine it's like a flat-footed. Okay, that's not too bad. I quite like that hand. That's not too bad. Okay, let's see if we can replicate it on this side. This is not. Oh, this is not. No, no. This is like a big shaggy sort of mane. There you go. That's not too bad. He's doing the boogie. He's doing something, isn't he? He's doing something. This is like a big mane, like a big lion sort of thing. But you know, that's not bad. That's not bad for a just sort of, hey, do a werewolf off the top of my head. That's not too bad. I like this hand. This is like my favourite bit of it. Everything else needs work. He's very sort of flat-footed. This is always a dodgy area to try and do with creatures, because it's like, you know, do you put them in like little shorts or do you just leave them open? And yeah, this arm, I can't get the perspective on this arm, but this one, I like this hand. So there we go. Thank you. The face is good. Is the face good? The mouth's not too bad. I mean, I could have put like some darkness in it to make it look like a gaping maw. There we go. That looks better. Yeah, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. Wow. The pressure. I obviously you saw I was in Star Freckles stream last night with you, and her little dog that she's drawing looked amazing, absolutely amazing. It was just, I looked at that and I was just like, obviously she was working with pastels. I use coloured pencils, and pastels is a different medium, and I've never really practiced with pastels or tried the pastel. I've got them because I got them for Christmas because I wanted to learn how to do pastels, and I'd not got them out and tried them. And so because she was using pastels, I thought, right, okay, this is like the perfect time. Just go for it and try and draw something. I am not good at pastels. I don't know. She went to school though. Oh, did she go to art school? Right, okay. That might make sense then, because I noticed she was using pastel sticks and I was using pastel pencils, and the effect that she seemed to be getting with the sticks seemed to be much better than the effect that I was getting with my pastel pencils. So I'm thinking that might be the way to go. But by the time I'd finished yesterday, it looked like a 5-year-old had been at the paper. You know how a 5-year-old sort of grabs hold of a pencil and just sort of does basically what my pastel drawing looked like. I was just trying to get fur texture. I was working on fur texture because I have this thing about longer fur, and I think longer fur is rendered better in pastels. It's just you can really blend the colours and layer the colours on top of one another so much better than you can with coloured pencil. She layers a lot, yeah, exactly, and it's just a completely different medium, and it's a completely different skill, and it's one that I have not mastered, and I don't mind saying that I haven't mastered it. But I am not good. Her fur that she was doing on that cockapoo, because it was quite long, sort of tufty fur, you know, all the little curls going in all the different ways and everything. And she'd done those so well, and I really, really loved her picture. And yeah, mine did not look great. My stuff is great. Stop. Yeah, thank you, but I mean, I'm in a different medium though. Honestly, let me show you. This is going to be embarrassing, but let me show you my pastel work. I love working with charcoal and pastels. I've not really tried charcoals, but this goes to show how I haven't mastered pastels at all. Right, so I did 3 things. I did a buttercup because I was trying to get the look on a petal. Couldn't do it. Then I thought, well, I'll do an eye. I like doing eyes. Surely an eye will be nice and easy to blend. No, really, really hard. And this is on proper pastel paper. This is on pastel mat. And this was me trying to get longer fur. This was what I was doing last night while I was watching Star Freckles. And that to me looks so bad. That looks so bad to me. And it does look bad, so please don't say that it's good. It is really, really bad. And I didn't have a reference picture, so I just sort of drew all these different bits of fur going in different directions and stuff. And it was so hard. This is like an hour's work. And I just couldn't get the blends right. I couldn't get the layering right. And it just took... Oh, hang on, I'm dropping everything. It just took so much concentration and nice lighting on the eye. Oh, the little white catch lights, thank you. But yeah, it takes so much to learn. But, you know, practice makes perfect and all that. So I will get there. And I find her channel very relaxing to watch and listen to. So thank you for introducing us, Artsman. I really, really appreciate that. I find having her on in the background while I'm doing my stuff she's a nice, easy listener. You can listen to her very easily, no matter what she's doing, whether she's stitching or, you know, playing games or puzzling, doing her art. And she has a nice little community as well. She's got a nice little community of people, which is which always makes all the difference. Yeah, I'm glad we followed each other too. Because sometimes I think it's hard with the Twitch search algorithm, whatever it's called. It's really hard to find people because sometimes I'll type in art and you just tend to get a whole lot of digital artists and they're all drawing the same sort of figures. And it's like, that's great. Some digital artists are absolutely amazing. Well, most of them are blooming amazing. But I like to see people who actually work with physical things, if that makes sense. So actual paints or pastels or pencils or inks or whatever. And when it brings up the search results for art, you don't really tend to get a broad spectrum, and I've never ever found I've found one other artist that doesn't use digital that has been recommended to me on the thing. That's how you found me. Oh well, great. Well, at least it worked. At least it worked for you, so that's good. Yeah, I look for more traditional artists rather than I do digital artists. I need my burnt sienna. Everyone is into the anime stuff. No, thank you. Yeah, I'm not. I'm not really into the anime. It's good. Yeah, it's really good. But I just find that it all looks this. I mean, I'm not into anime, so I don't know all the different characters. But when you're presented with a whole screen of, say, 20 or 30 different digital anime artists, they all look the same character to me, which is stereotyping and completely wrong. And digital artists probably think I'm dissing them completely, and I'm not. To my untrained eye, and I'm admitting that I'm the one that's at fault here, I have the untrained eye, I can't tell what's what or what you're drawing. The anime, the manga, I don't know that world. So that's fair enough that I don't understand what I'm looking at. So the fault therein lies with me, and I accept that. But I find if you pick a traditional artist, no matter what medium they're using, it looks more individual, if that makes sense. I think that's the point I'm trying to make. I'm not trying to be mean. There's so much of it on. There is. I mean, this is probably the perfect audience as well, though, isn't it? So. I mean, there's probably a lot of people on there that would find the traditional artists and go, no, that's not what I'm interested in. And that's fair enough, because everyone's interested in different art types, and that's the beauty of it, isn't it? Thank you for the book idea. I'm going to have fun with it. Oh, no worries. No worries. I'm happy to have enabled you. I think it's a springboard book. What I call a springboard book, in that it gives you as an artist a lot of ideas and a fresh perspective on creating things, and it's really, really good. I particularly like the pages where they show the different poses. Yeah, I like the all the different poses for all the different creatures, because sometimes I think that I use the same when I'm trying to create my own stuff, like that werewolf that you just had me draw. That was the only pose I could think of. Whereas if you look at the poses for the werewolf in that book, there are lots of different poses, sort of really sort of a dynamic, like defensive poses or attacking poses or just like walking poses. So many different poses that just makes me think of trying to reframe how I might draw things. I'm going to be copying some of those. Is that what you mean? Copying, not comping. Yeah, I'm certainly going to be... I think it's perfectly fine to copy from art that you admire, you know, as long as you're not going to sell it, obviously. But to use it as like a study, to sort of focus on how someone created something. So looking at the pen strokes, looking at the pose, looking at the way they've constructed a face, looking at the way they've constructed a paw or a foot or a weapon or whatever it is. And it's just using it as a study. I think it's a really good book. So don't let me fall where I don't belong. I can go back and right. Right. Okay, next little bit. These are all quite sort of darkish yellows. Let's get laid down first. It's really, really miserable weather here. It is absolutely lambing it down with rain outside. It's dark, it's grey, it's miserable, the wind's blowing. It's the kind of weather that if you go out in it for just a few minutes, you're going to be soaked within seconds. It's not very nice weather at all. I much prefer it when it's freezing cold and you have brilliant sunshine, but it's freezing cold. I much prefer those days because at least they're crisp and they're dry and they're so nice when even when you go out you can still feel like the sun on your face. But when it's like this, it's not great. It sounds horrible. I'm a sun person. Yeah, I'm a sun person too. I mean, I don't like laying in the sun or sunbathing, you know, like getting on a sun lounger and just laying there or anything. I much prefer to be someone who walks around looking at things, but rain is not my favourite. you. We have springs here. Those are nice to visit when it's nice out. That does sound nice. We don't have things like springs. I'm sure we do, but just not near us. I started reading a new book last night. It's a series that I've seen about for quite a long time, and I've always been meaning to sort of start it and read it and see if it's any good, because there's quite a few books in the series. So if I like it, I guess I've got plenty I can read. But it's the Rivers of London series by Ben Aronovich. And it's obviously about a copper in London, policeman in London, and they investigate paranormal things. But it's very sort of comedic and sort of sarcastic and stuff. But it's not too bad. I read the first chapter last night. It's okay. It held my interest because I've been in a real reading slump just lately. And it wasn't too bad, so I will read a bit more of that today and see if it's still just as good the more that I get into it. I hate being in reading slumps. I don't like not having anything to read. And it's one of my goals this year is to read more books. And that's not a very good thing to be in if you're trying to read more books, is having a bit of a reading slump so you can't find a book that takes your fancy. Look up the Rainbow Springs in Florida. Okay, let's have a look. Rainbow Springs, Florida. Images. Oh, wow. Oh, look at the colour of that water. That is beautiful. You must get alligators in that, right? Alligators, crocs, whatever. There's got to be in water like that. Oh my god, that looks amazing, Artsman. I mean, that's my jam. That is beautiful. That is like, there's a couple of pictures here of people in like glass-bottomed canoes sort of going over the water, and I kind of like that idea, but at the same time it'd be like, what if I saw something scary? What if I saw like a crocodile or something? It would just be like, no. This is why I can't go in water that I can't see all the way through. I will go in swimming pools because obviously you can go in the water and you can see all the way through. But I don't go in the sea, I don't go in lakes, I don't go in ponds, I don't go in anywhere where I cannot see inside the water. I've watched Jaws too many times, and yes, before everyone says it, you don't get great white sharks in ponds and lakes. Yes, I know. But there are still dangerous things in those in those places. Yes, there's gators. Oh, manatees! Oh, amazing! Huge birds. Yeah, I bet. like egrets and things. You must get people tube it too. Oh, that just sounds fabulous. I love the idea of there being manatees because they're just such gentle, or I imagine that they're gentle creatures. They just seem so gentle and so sort of slow and ponderous all the time that I see them on the TV. But because didn't manatees used to get confused for mermaids? Isn't that what they used to say? Cranes, herons, etc. Yeah. Oh, that must be amazing to live in a place like that. We get swans. We get swans. We get grey herons. Geese with attitudes, and ducks, which normally don't have an attitude as long as you feed them. You'd have to be pretty desperate to confuse a manatee with a mermaid. Yes, but they've been at sea for a long time, you know. They've not seen a woman for a while. But I mean, that's what they used to say, that manatees used to get confused for mermaids, and it used to be like, well, okay, clearly you'd not seen a woman for a while. I mean, maybe they'd just not got their glasses on, you know, so. This is quite a dark patch here. Hey Moose, how are you? Right, okay. Gonna jam. See you later. Yeah, see you later, Artsman. Thanks for popping in. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay. How about you? Just chilling. say that's not so yellow. I'm just going to add a little bit more sort of green gold here. So it blends in a little better. Got to go off and visit the in-laws today. Or outlaws, whatever we choose to call them. I just hope the traffic is... It's about an hour and a half drive from us. I'm just hoping the traffic isn't bad because of the weather being so bad. A line on it. Right. It's got a little bit of this burnished red sort of bloom here. So what are you up to today? Anything? We moved out. There was a couple of units in our dining room that they sit against an outer wall. So we'd got like a dresser and we'd got like this cupboard, and they'd been up against this wall for ages. And I said to Nick, I said, we really need to pull those out to check behind them and just clean, really. And we'd not pulled them out for quite some time, and oh my god, the amount of dog fur that had somehow got under and where you can't reach with like the hoover or whatever, so you don't see it, so you don't think about it, and clearly it would all just kept going under there. And there was just like this mass of rosy fur behind these units. And I mean, basically, I just wanted to make sure, check that there was no mold on the wall, because sometimes you get like the on our walls that face outwards that are exposed. Sometimes we've been getting a little bit of mold on the wall, and I just wanted to make sure that the wall was okay, and there wasn't any, so that was really good. But there was a lot of cobwebs and a lot of dog fur, so it's all now lovely and clean. But oh my god, you just don't realise, you just don't think about it. It was almost embarrassing. You're going to go to the gym later. Okay. I've never been a gym goer. I mean, you probably can't tell. But no, I've never been a gym goer. I can remember going when I was like a really young teenage girl, and I used to go with my older brother Brian, who was very much into powerlifting and bodybuilding and all that sort of stuff. And he used to be like, you can come and help me train. And I don't know what help I gave. I think he just wanted someone to admire him lift weights, quite frankly. But I got asked on YouTube. Not YouTube, TikTok. I posted a lot of my art over there, and I posted the recent completed picture of the wolf pack. And someone asked me if I could do a video showing how I tackled fur. And I said, yeah, sure. Without really thinking about it. And now I'm like, well, there are many, many different types of fur, so I don't know exactly what this person's expecting, but it's I guess I could just show one type of fur and how I would tackle that and hope that that is what enough of what he meant or she meant. But it's kind of a weird one because I mean all fur is different, isn't it? I mean you have long fur, short fur, and black fur is completely different to drawing white fur. Ear fur is completely different to drawing the fur that sits on a nose. And there's different textures and varieties. It's a hard one to do. And I don't know if I'm positioned to say this is how you draw fur. I'm not. I don't know. I don't consider myself I think there are better people out there that could probably teach it better than I could. I think that's what I'm trying to say. It to be too light at the bottom. It's dirty and muddy down here. Right, okay. This is a really dark piece. this is the real underside, almost the underbelly of the crocodile. Needs to look like this bit's in shadow. Just make it a little bit patchy. And I need, where's my dog Sepia? Just blend it into those pieces around it. Oh, we're getting there, we're so close. So close to the end. Part of me doesn't want this crocodile to end. Really doesn't. But I think the next piece of art that I'm going to do is I'm going to do an ink drawing, and I'm going to pick one of the pictures out of the Luke Eidenschink book that I got. That was all ink drawings. I'm going to pick my favourite and I'm going to do a study of that. So just so I can look at, focusing on how they constructed it, on how they use lines, how they use texture, how they use cross-hatching, and just to sort of replicate the picture. So doing a copy, basically. Obviously it won't be for sale. But it's just for me just to sort of look at how that picture was constructed and think about how I'm going to make my own art picks, ink pictures. I mean, because that is what I want to do, is create a piece of art that is uniquely my own, that's not been copied from anywhere, and to do it with inks, because I really like using inks, and I just think that would be a really good thing to do. So anyway, that's where I think I'm going to leave it today. We just got this little bit here to do on our Croc, and then he's going to be done. I can't believe it. It's been so great doing this crocodile picture. It's been so great. It was when I first chose it, I was like, yeah, this might be hard. This isn't going to look anything like the picture, but I'm so pleased with how it's come out. I didn't think that I would be able to render it as well as I have. And I normally like to pick fault with all my work because, imposter syndrome and perfectionism. But as I'm looking at that on the screen and looking at it in front of me and comparing it to the reference picture above, I'm just like, do you know what? You've done really well. And I don't like to blow my own trumpet or pat myself on the back. I find that really hard to do. But this, I'm really proud of. So I'm taking my time because I don't want to rush it. I don't want to rush to get to the end and then ruin this bit and then the whole picture's ruined. So I'm going to take my time and keep going at this. Will probably take the rest of the week, I think. Because where are we? We're Tuesday, so Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah, possibly. Probably take the rest of the week, and then this will be done, and then I'll have to do something new. But yeah, it should be fun. All right, I think I've waffled enough. Yeah, it's gone 10:30, so I will leave it here for today, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Appreciate your company and your time as ever, and have the great rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow. Yes, so take care, everybody. Look after yourselves, and I will see you tomorrow morning. Bye.